All right, welcome to another trading analytics video. Today we're going to be going over a few areas of the market, especially the indexes, kind of get you guys updated on what to expect next. So we're going to jump right into this with the S&P 500 or SPY. As you guys can see, we made a nice little move up after the CPI data. And from here, obviously SPY already filled its gap. And I think that we can, continue running up here depending on tomorrow's PPI data, etc. I would expect SPY to come up towards this upper trend line here. This upper trend line is somewhere around 613 and change. It's just around there, 613, 614, somewhere in there. And as you guys can see, we've been, bouncing off this upper trend line for quite a while here, right? And so again, working our way back to that trend line does take us in that area that I just mentioned, 613, 614. Obviously to the downside, if we were to lose the 604 level, we could come down towards 600 and then 598 respectively. And then obviously below that, there's this lower trend line that we've also been bouncing off of for quite a while. So at this point now, I probably wouldn't be looking for downside. Obviously, there's no reason to do so. I would probably stay on the bull as long as we're above that 604 level. Stay on the bull and start expecting prices towards that 613 area that I just mentioned. All right, jumping over to the NASDAQ 100 or QQQ, we obviously gapped up after CPI, just like SPY. And basically from here, I think we can start testing this upper trend line here that we've been rejecting from. I think we can get up here and test that. I think that takes us somewhere right around 533 to 534, somewhere up there. And so again, as long as we're above 521, I will remain bull and start targeting this upper trend line, like I said. But below 521, I do believe that we can come down in here and fill this gap. And below the gap, obviously, there's this lower trend line and the 20 EMA. I have no reason to be bearish at this time. We're above all our moving averages. This has been a pretty powerful bull run that the NASDAQ 100 has been on, just with some minor pullbacks. So again, I am looking for that 533, 534 area, which once again is this upper trend line. So I think you should just keep it simple. Stay bull until you have a reason not to be. All right, jumping over to Nvidia stock. Bulls were very excited today, especially since we were able to hold this lower trend line here. I said in yesterday's video that if bulls were able to hold this lower trend line, they can look for higher prices. I said that if they lost this lower trend line, then we would be looking at 130, which has been meaningful support for Nvidia for quite a while. It's also the 100 EMA. So if we lose this trend line here, then I would expect for this head and shoulders pattern to start playing out on Nvidia, and we'll come down here towards the 130 level. Below 130, we could easily come start slicing down to 123, and obviously this trend line down here. But at this moment, bulls don't have anything to worry about at the moment because they are able to hold that trend line here. We are above most of our moving averages. The only thing ahead of us is the 20 EMA. If we're able to get above that, I think bulls will be on parade here. In our Discord server, one of our traders, Nilly, was able to take Nvidia and catch it on the dip right on that trend line. It was an excellent eye by him, and he had precision with that one. So very, very excited that he was able to catch that for our Discord members. And I think this one, like I said, could turn into a multi-bagger if Nvidia is able to get going. Now, one other thing I want to quickly show you guys as well, if I could switch over to my line chart here, you can see that, there's a bigger picture double bottom that could play out here on Nvidia, assuming that bulls can get over the 20 EMA and come towards its breakout level here right at 145. I think if we get over 145, we're probably going to be looking at testing this upper trend line, which takes us over to 154, which probably could happen by the end of the year. But all of that is contingent upon holding this lower trend line here. I'll switch back over to candles. If we're able to hold that, then look for that breakout level at 145 to eventually play out here, and then we'll head up to this upper trend line as stated before. All right, jumping over to Netflix stock. This was featured in yesterday's video as a trade idea. I said that if Netflix was able to hold this lower trend line here, that it would be a very, very low risk entry. The reason that I thought it was real low risk was because if we lost this trend line, you could stop out very, very quickly for a minimal loss. I also thought that it was a very high chance that we were going to come in line with CPI and then we would probably get a nice little bounce. And so far, that's exactly what happened, right? I said that if we held this lower trend line, we can come up here and test this upper trend line. This upper trend line takes us somewhere between like 960 to 968, somewhere up there. So Netflix definitely has some legs on it, assuming that we can hold this trend line here and not fall below. I think you can look for continued upside towards that upper trend line. In our Discord server, we did take the Netflix swing We were up around 150%. Just to be totally honest, we were in that swing before yesterday's video. And yeah, we did really well on that one. If you're an individual who's looking for a Discord group that takes, low risk swing trades that you can take on a weekly basis, trading analytics might be for you. You can use the link in the description of this video to join us. Again, we look for the low risk opportunities. We put our heads together in our community with not just the mods, but also the members to find these low risk entries on these swing trades. It's a great place to be. It's a great environment. You should check us out. Right now, we are running a free trial that is ending pretty soon, but you probably can get in here if you get in on the free trial if you get in there pretty soon. So yeah, Netflix was a very, very nice trade. Hopefully you guys were able to use that from yesterday's video and make bank on this one. All right, jumping over to Tesla stock. Obviously, this one has been the runner of December. This name has been nonstop, obviously, since this daily bull flag here. We've been basically running up pretty much every single day except for one, right? And so, again, over this level here, right around all-time highs of 414, I do think Tesla can come up here and test that 435 level. I think we're going to be doing that in pretty short order here unless we come back down and lose that 414 area. I think we'll come up here and test 435. Above 435, I am looking for the 450s. And again, we'll play it level by level once Tesla, kind of knocks down some of these price targets. So pretty much like I said, I think this one's very simple as, just stay bull. It's very volatile, of course. But it is in a very, very powerful bull trend. It is a freight train. I would not want to get in front of this one. But once again, I don't want to get in front of this one if you're a bear, right? But again, I am looking for 435 in our Discord server. We are trading Tesla currently. We're doing pretty well on those. We have some, call options towards, mid-month, and then we also have some shorter dated call options. So we've been, crushing Tesla in and out, throughout the last few weeks. So this one, like I said, expect 435. I think we can probably get that done tomorrow, assuming data does well for us. At any point, though, I will be risk off if we lose 414. Below 414, I don't want to be in Tesla in that circumstance, especially from these levels here. But again, like I said, I do believe that we're probably going to be going to 435 here in short order. All right, jumping over to Apple stock. I normally try to give you guys one or two trade ideas per video, if I can find them, of course. So Apple's going to be featured on today's video as a potential trade idea. So basically, Apple is trading with inside of this channel on the 1 hour time frame. As you can see, it is a very low risk entry, just like Netflix was yesterday. We were on that lower end of the channel. So I do believe that call options could be taken here out to December 20th or December 27th. If you're able to get that, this entry right here on this lower trend line tomorrow, then obviously you can look for a push back to the upper end of the channel. It's only low risk if you're able to stop out right below the lower trend line. I probably would ignore the 50 EMA and the 100 EMA. I don't want to come down there on the trade because the whole reason I would be in this trade period is this, lower trend line support. If I lose the reason that I'm in the trade to begin with, I don't want to be in it at all, right? So again, if you can get this entry tomorrow, this would be a low risk entry. And like I said, I do think you can come up here and target this 252 area, or depending on what angle you come in, it can be 252 to 253. So again, I do believe you can target that over time. Once again, I do believe the December 20th cons look good, and then December 27th cons look good as well. Obviously, the more time you put on your contracts, the safer the bet. But once again, it's low risk if you stop out right below the trend line. It's not low risk if you let it free fall, right? So again, this is a good entry here, I believe. This is not financial advice. You'd be doing so at your own risk. Nothing given on this channel is financial advice whatsoever. Nobody here is a financial advisor, so keep that in mind when you're making your trading decisions. But again, I like this entry for Apple tomorrow, assuming that we're still down here when the market opens. I really like this one. I think this one is good to go for an entry. And finally, I want to put this last ticker on you guys' radar as a potential trade idea. It's ticker symbol LLY or Lilly. Basically, what we have here is a daily inverted head and shoulder that's kind of forming here. I can kind of draw it out here for you guys, something like that. And so this one is going to come with its fair share of headaches. As you guys can see, we're below all of our moving averages. Again, I don't really like that too much. We have some downtrend lines that we got to try to clear. So again, I do think that this one is not going to come without its fair share of headache. But it does have a very nice chart pattern sitting here on the daily chart. Could really get going. I think this is more of a lotto than anything. If I had to choose between the two trade ideas given in this video between Apple and Lilly, it's going to be Apple by a long shot. I think Apple is a much better trade idea than this one. But again, I just wanted to put it on your radar. It'll be totally up to you guys if you guys wanted to take it. Now, if I can just clear this out really quick, I did want to tell you guys about something else. Once again, below this 782 area, there is a gap below down to 755. So again, if things start getting a little hairy, you don't want to be in this one at all. That's why I said it's more of like a lotto, has its fair share of risk to it. Again, this gap is staring it in the face if we lose this level. But other than that, I do think the inverted head and shoulder could really get going as long as it can hold this support, which so far it seems to be the case. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. In addition to that, make sure you guys visit our Discord link in the description of this video for additional trade ideas. We do have PPI tomorrow. I think it's going to come with its fair share of volatility. So let's have a great trading day tomorrow, and we'll be back again for our weekend closeout. So see you guys later. Bye. Perfect.